Hi, morning, it's Lynn, and I'm live on my Facebook timeline, and I don't know how many people are going to see this, but I'm going to give it a go. So I just wanted to come on and say good morning, and it's a cold January day where I am in Sussex, but having a good time in my new place. Anyway, so I just wanted to come on and talk about the huge sort of tumultuous energy we feel like we're in right now, in the fact that we are receiving even more intense plasma emanations from the central sun, and actually the sun's behind it, because the sun is morphing into, there's a portal of our sun, and through that we are merging with the other 7 sacred suns. In fact, the constellation and the Ursa Major and the constellations are actually merging together. That's part of the ascension process for the planet. And right now, for all star seeds, I'm talking to all star seeds, we have signed up in this lifetime to be emanations for the liquid plasma from the new central sun. And those plasma emanations are very powerful. And that's what is causing our emotional body right now to go into a bit of a free fall, because it's so powerful and so cleansing and so clearing that it is pulling up debris out of your energy field, like a big hand going in to your light body and going, hey, you're really buried. Let's pull you up for looking at, processing, healing, and releasing. But it feels like you have been shoved in. I love this analogy of a cosmic washing machine. I use it quite often because it feels like that, because you're in like a massive drum, cosmic drum, and you're being washed, and your direction and your inner compass has been completely being rewired. So where you thought you were going might not be where you're going at all, because the cosmic washing machine is working very well. And that is the emanations of the liquid plasma coming from the cosmic divine mother, the Godhead, and her coming from a cosmic womb as well. So of course it's causing us to be a little bit like unhinged, and the mental body is being hit hard. Now this is normal. This isn't not normal. This is normal for what the process of ascension is in a physical body, which has never been done before. So therefore we're in new territory. And so it will feel extremely disorientating, and it will feel very, very like you are going backwards in your spiritual journey. It will feel like you've gone backwards on your pathway, and you haven't. All you're doing is you are allowing that debris, we call it miasma, to come up, to be seen and witnessed, so it can be released. So the emotional body is being pummeled right now. And I just wanted to pop on and say it's entirely normal. And we just have to look after ourselves, and we have to make sure that we are looking after ourselves as well as we can, so that we can sort of transverse this part of the energy and what is going on. So for those that are struggling emotionally right now, you're in good company. There are many, many of us starseeds on this planet struggling right now. There's many other souls that haven't chosen the ascension pathway this lifetime that are struggling with the frequencies that are coming through. They just will not realize what it is that's going on. So I just wanted to say that, all right, and that you're not going backwards. You're not, you're not doing anything wrong. It's about self-care, upping the self-care, lots of like, I don't know, long warm baths, sea salt, Himalayan salt, crystal aura sprays, giving yourself enough time, not rushing around, allowing yourself to process what is coming up to be seen and released. That's all it is. As I say, you're not going backwards. You're not. You haven't done anything wrong. You are just processing what is coming up to be witnessed. Some of this stuff is not even from this lifetime. It's from other lifetimes. Yeah. Some of this stuff is not even from you. It's coming from your ancestral line. And it's coming because you're cleansing and clearing the DNA. So the DNA of all of your ancestors, remember, is held within you. So you're carrying the cellular memory of your ancestors, including major wars, major battles, major events on the human timeline of history that are held in the collective memory of our ancestors. So you're clearing that as well. So it's a big job. It's massive. So no wonder we are feeling like we're being pummeled right now. But it's entirely normal. You are not doing anything wrong. You are not, as I say, going backwards. You are not a failure. You are not doing what you should be doing. I mean, all these things come up, don't they, when you're being hammered. And you think, I must have done something wrong. I've not done enough healing on myself. I've not done this enough. I've not done that. Just be in grace and accept that this is part of the planetary journey. We signed up for this, right? And our I Am Presence knows what this is, knows what's going on. So we take a day at a time and we just do what we can every day. That's what we do. We do what we can every day in the circumstances we've got. But try and get out of that head of that you are not good enough, or you haven't done enough, or that you, as I say, are not keeping up with everybody else. And that mind and that emotional body and the mental body, as we know, goes mad and starts trying to analyze everything, and can't understand why maybe you've lost direction. Like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I want to do anymore. Nothing feels right. Nothing feels familiar anymore. Everything is changing and I've no control over it. And what am I going to do? That is a common, that will be what we are processing and trying to, because the mental body is trying to make sense of what's going on, and it can't. It has no knowledge of soul. It has no knowledge of the divine. And our divine mind, of course, is within us, and we have to sort of connect with that, our inner divinity, our inner divine presence, getting into heart space, getting into meditation, sitting in the heart body, in the higher heart 0 point, and just being. You can always call your I Am presence forwards. You can always call your divine feminine presence forwards. You can always call your divine masculine presence forwards to sit with you. I imagine my divine feminine presence holding my hand or putting her arm around me. And we sitting and just being and knowing that everything is okay. I'm where I should be. There is nothing I've done wrong. Yeah, that's self-love. And we need more of that, more than ever right now. So I just wanted to come on and say that. And this is going to increase. So we've got to find our coping strategies, and we've got to find our ways of allowing this to come up through and out, because it will come out if we allow it to. Journaling is a good idea, writing everything down, writing down what's coming up in your head. Have you had weird dreams? You know, bringing it out from the head out onto paper. And it's almost like you're unscrambling it, but not allowing the mental body to keep you in a space of lack and fear and of feeling a failure. That's not good energy. And, you know, we all have our own cycles and patterns and things that we do, but I just wanted to say that. So be aware of that. Training your brain, training your mind to think positive, to that we can allow this, we can accept this is normal. Everybody else is going through what I'm going through. I am not an oddity. I'm not a freak. I am not, yeah? Everybody else is going through what I'm going through, because they are. I want to say that the majority of starseeds on this planet are going through this right now. They're bound to be. It's normal. And don't let any other thing or, you know, or whatever, or rock star light worker or rock star starseed, shall I say, or celebrity starseed tell you any different. This is normal. And the plasma that we have actually agreed to channel, we've agreed to channel that plasma. We've agreed to emanate that plasma out to the rest of humanity. And it's coming actually from, there's an inner sun in the central crystalline core. And that is emanating plasma as well as our central sun. And as we know, the sun is changing, it's morphing, and it's a portal. And beyond that are the other 7 suns. And that's where the plasma emanations are coming through as well. And that's what we do in the quantum bridge. That's what I'm working with, is the sun network, the inner sun network of the crystalline core in the center and the 7 central suns and our inner sun. That's why I call it the triple star process. That is connecting up your inner sun, the sun in the middle of the crystalline core, and the central sun portal, so that you're able to be a conduit for those plasma emanations. And at the same time, the plasma emanations actually cleanse and clear your light body. We have to be very careful, because we're dealing with very high levels of light, which can fry the light body if we're not careful. That's why we have to be careful. And we have to make sure that we're doing self-care in cleansing and clearing our physical bodies by going into the bath, going into the shower, using sea salt, using crystal sprays, being guided to certain crystals to work with right now. This is all part of our ability to navigate this corridor of time, which is very important. Morning, Janine. I'm not sure how many people will see this, to be honest, on Facebook, because we know what's going on. But this is the reason why the emotional body is being pummeled right now. And that's why I've been given new methods. And I am now going to roll those out, and it's going into my training. So I commit now to expanding my healing academy, my Crystal Star Ascension Healing Academy, to show starseeds how to use the plasma. Hiya, morning, Sarah. the liquid plasma, right, as I say, is a very, not volatile, but it's a very powerful energy. And it can, as I say, fry and burn the light body. And what I'm concerned about is the amount of emotional instability that some people have right now, as their light bodies, as I say, and emotional bodies are being pummeled, and they are becoming a bit like unstable. What we wouldn't want to see is people going so low in their emotional bodies that they like do something stupid, and you know what I'm talking about. There has been a few instances in the last few weeks with a few starseeds that have taken their own life and have gone due to the emotional body being absolutely pummeled, and them just feeling like, and do you know what? I can't blame them, because you know what? It's like the amount of transformation and things that we have to go through to navigate this journey of ascension is extremely challenging. And I, last year in 2024, to be honest, didn't want to be here. And I really, with what I went through last year, the dark night of the soul again, I mean, how many do we have to have? It was the worst one I've ever experienced. And it was happening for me. I know that. It was happening for me, not to me. But doesn't make it any easier. Doesn't make it any easier when you feel like the bottom of your world has been taken away. You know, like it's an analogy of standing on, say, a hill, and your feet is on the ground and you're anchored and you feel stable underneath you. And you've always been standing on this hill and it never changes. And all of a sudden, the hill is taken from under your feet, and suddenly you're floating. You can't grab onto anything because there's nothing to hold onto, and you are floating while you see your whole life being like floating down the river in front of you. Like everything that you ever held as being stable and permanent is floating down the Swanee right in front of you. And you are floating, holding on to nothing. You don't know who you can trust. You don't know who is for you and who isn't for you. You don't know who's going to come along, who's just going to trick you. I'm talking about me, right? I'm not talking about you. Like, wow, that was that was a deep shit initiation. That was, oh my God, yeah? And to float with nothing, with nothing at all. And then to be like, get to a point where they were waiting for me to say, I've had enough. They were waiting for me to say I've had enough. And I just let it keep coming. I just let it keep coming. And then it culminated in November where, oh my God, no, it was October. Oh my God. I went and did some work, big work, planetary work. And I've been building up to this work all my life. And I delivered it and I did it. But on the back of that, as soon as I did it, I got slapped hard by we call it the blowback of what you did. So the blowback came back massively. I was protected, but that was the final straw. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back, but in a positive way, because I was holding on too much to, I was just thinking I had to be a martyr. And suddenly it was like, do you know what? I've had enough. I've had enough of this shit show. Like, that's enough. It's self-care. Put myself first. I want a home. I want to settle down. I want somewhere to sit and be and to recalibrate, re-anchor, and then plan or vision where my life is going now, because everything I've ever known has been taken away from me, including husbands, children, friends that I've known for years, 25 years, 30 years, everything just went. Home, effects, you name it. Yeah, you name it, it got taken, right? My children, what I mean with my children is the fact that one child, you know, my eldest son is abroad and I haven't seen him in a year or so. My other son is not living with me anymore. Well, he hasn't for a few years. And he's happy and he's living, you know, not too far away now, actually, which is a plan that I wanted. I wanted that. But you know what I'm saying? You know, so like everything. But that is what we have to do. We have to sacrifice everything sometimes when it's not real. It wasn't real. It wasn't right. It wasn't serving me for my highest good. It was a false story. It was a false vision, if you know what I mean. And now at least I can sit in my authenticity truly of who I truly am, and not be surrounded by people that don't want that for me, and also were not true, and they were fake and inauthentic, and they were plastic, and they were not wanting the best for me, in fact wanting the worst for me, and I didn't even know. And they were dimming my light. And I, you know, I am presence evidently. I was getting there. I was asking the questions, you see. I was asking questions. I was seeing things. I was having visions. I was being given intuition. And, you know, my gut feeling was telling me over and over again, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. And eventually my I am presence thought, she's ready. She's ready. She's seen it. It's come into her consciousness. It's in her awareness. She's asking questions. Now we do the work of taking you out of here. And then I was taken out that situation. Very abruptly, I might add. But it was needed. And I'm grateful for that now. And I can say that coming up to a year since it happened. So it would have happened probably within the next 6 weeks will be a year's anniversary, or just before. But wow, I've still got a long way to go to process that and to be able to integrate it and, you know, fully be present with that and be able to like close the door and the chapter to that completely. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So we all are going through our own stuff, and it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you when you sit. This is what really bugs me sometimes. And Lisa Renee, interesting, sent out her Ascension Glossary monthly a couple of days ago, and in it she mentioned the fact that, you know, you can have that glamorous Hollywood, shall we say, star crowd of starseeds and light workers that paint it as being absolutely amazing, and that they're not going through anything like that. So there must be something wrong with you, because I'm not going through that. I don't go through, you know what I mean? Like I'm self-realized. We're all going through this. And that's what I'm very passionate about, is showing that starseeds and light workers weren't, you know, like, we're just as good as everybody else, right? You're just as good as everybody else. So don't think or compare yourself to the Hollywood elite set, shall I say, of those people that have hundreds of thousands of followers, right? Yeah? Are they living their true and authentic self? I don't know. Maybe they are. And good for them. Good for them if they are. Amazing. Great. Fabulous. I wish you well. I'm so glad you are. Oh my God, absolutely. But I don't like it when people like, and others then, starseeds, seem to compare themselves to them and then think they're doing something wrong. You're not, right? This is entirely normal. It's entirely normal. So I just wanted to come on and say that, you know, that we're all struggling. It's normal. It's normal, right? It's normal. I know that. I know who I am, sort of. I know who I am. I know what I struggle with. Doesn't make me inferior to anybody else. I know what I do for this planet. I know what I do for this planet, and that's enough. And you don't know what you do when you're in your sleep time and astral time, and absolutely what you're doing. You don't realize. So we're all as important as each other, you know? And like, don't compare yourself to others. And that's hard in the realms of social media and how people portray themselves on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all of that stuff, you know? You don't know the stories behind that and what's going on behind the scenes. And I always said, and that was something that was very important to me in my heart, and my soul like communicated that to me: be transparent, tell them how it is, show them sometimes when you're at your lowest, show them, because they need to know it's normal. It's normal. It's what we're going through. So, and you know, we can bury it if we want to. Yeah, we can bury it and ignore what, you know, and try and paste it over with lots of other things that we want to keep ourselves busy with. But we have to process what we're carrying on a soul level, trauma-wise. So, you know, it's normal. And I tell you, the tears I have cried, you know, like, oh my God, it's normal. Like, I was crying last night. You know, like, it's normal for me now. I go, here we go again. I'm off. But that's my heart wide open, processing, letting go. Letting go. Sometimes I feel good one day and like, oh wow, I can get lots done today. The next day it's like, oh God, you know. But it's normal. As I keep saying, I'm okay. I'm here. I'm doing what I should be doing, which is looking after myself. That's number one, right? And that's something I have not done in the past, is really looked after myself. And now I've learned that is, if I don't want to work one week because I am in a state and in bits, I'll move a session. I'll go, maybe I've only got 4 sessions in 1 week. I'll go, well, I'll move them to next week and I'll take the week off. And I will do as well. And I say it like, right, no, I'm putting my feet up, I'm relaxing, I am going to not do it, I'm going to just not hold space, I'm going to hold space just for myself. And that is entirely fine. That's fine. So I just wanted to say that and come on and try and encourage people that don't feel you're doing something wrong. You're not. You're entirely where you should be. And I just want to say that. And if you are struggling with your emotions, there are ways of dealing with that. Of course there are. And that's how I integrate my healing protocols, because I go through it myself, you see. I go through it myself, and then I ask, is there anything I can do to help myself? What can I do? Show me. And I sit in my heart for a little minute, and then I get a vision. I get a vision of, like, go and talk to that person, or use that crystal. You've got that crystal, go and get it now. Or you know, there's an essential oil that you need. Go and get that out and put it in the diffuser right now. Like, I just get it. It drops in when I ask. So ask, what do I need? What do I need to ease this up? What do I need to pull it out? And you'll be told what you need. When you get into 0 point, back in the heart, that's the only place you've got that is the key to all of this, is your heart, your stargate. And that is where you will hear the sound and the voice and the energy of your soul more than anywhere else, is your heart. Because your mental body just goes mental, doesn't it? Mad. And the voice is going. And the only way I can shut myself up if I've been really panicked, right, is to go into heart. And I sit and I sometimes ground. I sit on the floor and I go into my heart, and I go right into my higher heart chamber, yeah, upper heart, seed atom, pearl energy. You head for there. That's where your divine presence lies. That's the place they targeted for you know what in 2020. So they targeted there because that's where the soul energy resides, in the angelic human template body. That's where it sits. And if they could shut that off, right, they could then automon humanity with the you-know-what and with everything else, as you know. So that is the key. That's your Stargate to your inner quantum world. And if you step into that consciously with your, you know, like I'm stepping now into my heart center, I'm stepping through into my pearl energy, which is my God spark. I'm stepping in and merging with it. And then imagine that you sit down in that energy. Call down your robes of light to be placed around you, and then ask your I am presence to step forwards. Step forwards and talk to me. Come and sit by me, hold my hand, and tell me or show me what I need to know about this. That's really powerful. The more you do that, the better you get at it. And that builds that integration into the monadic body. That's where the monad is coming in through that energy. So the more you do it, the more space you're making for that energy to come in. It's a geometry. The more you connect with that geometry, the more that geometry can come in, more that energy and presence and light can step through the gateway. That's how you build embodiment. That's how embodiment takes place. And that is my area of expertise, is knowing what we need for embodiment. And that space is most important. And then through that space, you can go anywhere. You can go to your inner temple of your soul. You can go onto the plasma quantum bridge that I hold. And that quantum bridge is a plasma bridge coming from the central sun. And it's connected to the central sun of the crystalline core. So that, you know, that's where I train the healers, and I take everybody in when I'm doing my healing emanations. And that is where you can use the liquid plasma to heal your light body. And that's what I'm getting. So I've been doing that anyway for a number of years, but it's getting more powerful. It will do as we progress through the ascension cycle. So now at this point, I've just had another upgrade, and I took that in the last 7 days. With that, I was given downloads of what I'm doing with the plasma energy. Makes bloody sense now. Light bulb moment for me. So the emotional body being pummeled needs assistance. So that's why I'm saying that you need to be asking for assistance for your emotional body. And we all have different pathways. We've all got different things to do. We've all got different people to go to who are our person or whatever. But I'm just saying that I have a system to heal the emotional body. And it's a fast, accelerated healing system. And I've been working on myself with that method. And that's why I have suddenly turned a corner. Like, wow, they've helped me lift out some stuff that was running the show. And it's not all your stuff. What I'm trying to say to you about that is, it's not all, sometimes it's ancestral. As I say, you're taking on the ancestral trauma of your entire line, and you are healing and transmuting it. So, you know, it's happened. I've done, like, I don't know, I did load in December, but in January, every one I've done so far, it has been ancestral linked as well. So we've got an ancestral trauma going back, like we had one last week, ancestral trauma running 7 generations back. Divine feminine soul, who was attacked and raped and abused by her father 7 generations back. She was high vibrational herself. That again was suppression of the divine feminine. Also, the father was running a satanic contract, a dark contract. That's why he probably was push to attack her. That energy was running down the maternal ancestral line. That energy was running down the ancestral line anyway, because of the energy of that contract. That was suppressing every divine feminine soul, every soul born, female soul born from that line was in suppression even more than normal. And then culminating in this starseed sat in front of me, who is struggling to activate herself, is struggling to activate her higher gifts. And suddenly we get that point of, oh wow, look what we've got running here on that line. We clear that soul, that ancestor. We clear the contract down. We take it out of the Akashic Hall of Records, and we don't have to go in and do it. It just gets done with the plasma and the white flame. It gets done. He gets taken off for redemption, and we completely liberate all the female line running all the way down immediately. It's done, including her own mother, who's still alive. And we, boom, she gets an embodiment on the back of that. So as soon as we've done that, and we have gone through and cleared that, what's waiting for her? Her Sisterhood of the Rose crystalline cords, rose cords. They're sitting there waiting for her. She can't claim them. She can't embody them because of what's happened. Yeah? It's not her fault. She took that ancestral line on, knowing that there's a lot of shit in there and she needs to heal and transmute it. And boom, we found it and cleared it. And suddenly her rose cords came back. Boom. They walked straight into her. And that's what I'm talking about, embodiment. That's embodiment. That is embodiment. That's what we're doing. So then she becomes a much more clearer and powerful emanation of the divine feminine, because she's sitting it with her rose cords that have just walked in. So they are working through her entire light body. They're turning on her, shall we say, they're turning on her DNA. So her 12-strand DNA was being blocked. So suddenly it's turning on her 12-strand DNA even further to a deeper level. The more powerful we get, the more activated we get, the more embodied we get. And then the more embodiment we take, the more easier it is to navigate the pathway, because you're in your power. The more embodied you are and the more activated you are, the more protection you have for your own energy field. You can hold it, you can protect it, you can hold the space. That's how it works. I'm trying to explain it in language you'll understand, that's what it's about. Embodiment is being able to take and embody your higher coding, to walk with 12-strand DNA activation in place and activated. So your field, your toroidal field is absolutely intact and is amplified, and is like a massive shield. Nothing can infiltrate it. If I get hit, and I was talking the other day to someone, and we were talking about planetary work, and we both knew we were being hit at the same time of talking to each other, right? That's fine, because they weren't infiltrating it at all, because it's armor. So they were trying to have a go to stop us talking, but they couldn't, because the field is so protected, is so amplified, is so strong and solid like steel that they can't get in. And we have to understand that's the reality of where we are right now. Just because we're attacked, you see, the old-fashioned thing is, if you're attacked, if you're it's your own fears, because you wouldn't get attacked. That's bullshit, right? That's fake, false light. Everybody on this planet who's a starseed will have been attacked. Everybody who's a starseed on this planet will have been tried to be interfered with. It's part and parcel of the pathway. We're here to dismantle this shit, on this planet. I get cross about this because I have been gaslighted by others saying, oh, it's all your own fears. That's why you were attacked. That's why you were abducted when you were a child. Bullshit. Like you, I'm a powerhouse starseed. I'm here to, you know, dismantle the inversions. No wonder they're going to bloody come after us. Of course they are. We don't attack, we defend. But when we're in our power and when we're emanating that fucking plasma, I tell you, they will run and scuttle because they don't want us to get to that point. I've got my fighting talk on, haven't I? But that's true. That's true. So anybody who tells you that you're weak or that you're in fear and that's why you get attacked, it's bullshit. Because I have dealt with the most attacked starseeds on this planet, and I mean that. I have dealt with people that have been in a secret space program and all sorts of stuff, right? And I know, like Laura Eisenhower goes on about it and all that. Yeah, I deal with these people. MK Ultra cases a lot. I deal with them. I know what they go through. And that's because they're so powerful and they're hard hitters. And they target master souls and those that have come in to do particular work. So, you know, I know why they do it. And it's nothing about being in fear. In fact, the starseeds that are targeted on this planet, the worst, quite often are the most beautiful souls. And they are, you know, they are fearless. They are fearless. Because they came in knowing full well they will get hammered and pelted to hell by coming in. So that's why I get cross when, you know, you get people, the lovers and lighters, that say, oh, if you concentrate or talk, like even now, me talking about this, I would get some lover and lighters saying, you're talking about negative things, you'll attract it. Bullshit. No. I'm telling you that starseeds around the world have been targeted. Of course they have. It's bound to be, isn't it? Because we're dismantling what is running the show here. And it is being dismantled as we speak. There's amazing stuff going on. The planetary work that went on in the USA last year is mind-blowing. And we know what's gone on and what happened yesterday with Mr. T. Yeah. I hold non-judgment on that, right? Because he's playing a role. I can't see, they're not showing me, and I do a lot of USA work. I don't think there's anybody who knows what's going to happen. There can't be. They won't tell anybody, right? The divine plan knows. It knows. But it's all on schedule. I'm not saying he's a saviour, because no one is. No one is. But he's playing a role. And I think he will be the last president of the United States, the last one. And I think that whatever way it goes, whether he cocks it up because he's meant to, and he completely, shall I say, destroys the hopes and dreams of those thinking that he's, yeah, that will cause a revolution in a good way, where things are overturned and things then change. That's what I see. But no one can predict, because it's that information is very, very protected, and the divine's not letting it out, I don't think, to anybody. We all don't know what's going to happen, and I think that's the way it has to be. But we'll know. We'll see. But you know, you just keep an open mind, and that's how we have to be honest. Yeah, 2025, as I say, acceleration. We're in acceleration, much more than before. So that's why grounding, inauguration yesterday, Janine, inauguration, because I was watching it. I did it on purpose as well. I watched it in a very, present way, as a divine, observer. I wanted to watch it from that energy. I had incense burning, candles. I wanted to see it in that level. I was observing, not taking part. I was observing for the divine as well. Like, this is what's going on, you know, whatever. There's a lot of things going on. We can't know what's going to happen. We can't. But just trust in your path. Trust in your heart. There's safety in numbers as well, as we know. Sticking together. Finding like-minded people that see through the charade, see through the pantomime. Sovereignty is a big, like, it's like a popular theme, isn't it? People jumping onto the bandwagon of sovereignty and what it means. Some people understanding what it means, some playing at it, some trying to probably trick people into what they think sovereignty is, you know, all of that. It's all a big playground out there, isn't it? So you can only listen to your gut feeling and feel into it. Your body never lies. Your body never lies. It tells you what's real and what isn't. But yeah, we're into that. So I want to ask a question. There's only a few of you on here, but thank you for listening. I'm thinking of doing like a, I don't know, an open forum for talking about planetary ascension, starseeds, talking about it in a real way, of what really, you know, what it's really like. Do you think that would be a good idea? Just thinking whether to bring on people and just talk, and then release it. I'm not sure YouTube is the right place to do it, but yeah, I think I might do that. I feel like talking now. I'm ready to talk now. I'm ready to talk. So anyway, hope you'll all get on all right, and yeah, so last thing, I'm being guided from the Cosmic Divine Feminine, and that's who I work for. So I'm a galactic Divine Feminine. I don't come from anywhere near this universe. I know that. Many of us don't. And I'm opening up a new space in March. It's very much, it's coming in stronger now. I'm opening up a galactic, I'm calling it galactic, but it's people that really feel drawn by the cosmic energy and by, you know, the star energy, and they feel like they're from, you know, from somewhere far. I'm opening up a temple space for the Divine Feminine Starseeds, and it's going to be a plasma temple. Now, this will be very, very powerful, right? And this will be more powerful than I've ever done before. And I'm opening it up for Divine Feminine Starseed embodiment and activation. So in this space, you're going to be able to shed that emotional layers and shit. And I'm going to show you how to clear your ancestral lines. Not like the normal way. We're not doing it like long-winded ways. I'm talking accelerated, fast clearance, which will enable and carve a pathway for embodiment for you. And in that space, you will embody and go through maybe several layers of embodiment in that space while I hold it open. I'll show you how to use plasma to work on yourself. I'll show you how to use the white flame of ascension properly to work on you and yourself and others. And I will hold space for you to shed what might be holding you back, right? Like, so all of that shit, like curses, you know, suppression of embodiment through your maternal line, you clearing up your paternal line, clearing up your womb portals, so that they're all clear and that you're not carrying any shit, getting rid of mechanisms, implants and devices, getting rid of interference, making sure you're solid sovereign, right? And you're anchored in your sovereignty, getting you the right geometry, It's all about geometry. So getting you into your right geometry, right? And then also we'll be doing it'll either be weekly or every 2 week meetups. So it'll be talking, conversing, you having somewhere where you can talk and share and what's happening to you. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't need to. But a place where the space will be so high that you can shed off what you need to take off. And I do have a feeling that in that space we'll be doing some planetary work. I've got a feeling that the cosmic divine mother and the councils of light will rub their hands in glee when they find so many starseeds in there, divine feminine starseeds. And they will like, hey, would you like to do this? And just think what you can do as a group of divine feminine starseeds together in one space, and we go and deal with something that they're doing right now in this reality that we can change, because that's how powerful we are. If we group rescind together in our sovereignty and authority, right? And I can do that. I am a divine law giver and deliverer. We can then, well, we all are, but I can show you how to do it in a group work. We can then go and hold certain things accountable. We can go and deal with, there is something we have to deal with actually at the minute, which is my friend Deborah, who's a great advocate of, womb cancer. She created a charity. It was amazing. She's a great, energy healer and space holder. She's part of my monad as well. And Deborah mentioned actually a while back how they they stopped giving women, anesthetic for hysteroscopy. And they expected women to go through a hysteroscopy without any pain relief whatsoever. And it's agony. It's agony when they do it. Like putting, like a big probe up you, right? And they said, oh, no, women don't need it. And probably men made the decision, right? Now, that's wrong. That is traumatizing the divine feminine. That is on purpose. That's an agenda. That's an agenda to get us wherever they can. We've the power to change that. We've the power to take up the creators of those agendas and those policies and to give them spiritual equity and say to them, you will change your mind. You will now go and change that law, and all the women will get pain relief for hysteroscopy throughout the world, because you're being held accountable by the divine feminine, and that is abuse of the divine feminine, and we will not tolerate it anymore. We can do all of that sort of thing. It's amazing when you can do these things together. It's amazing. So that opens March equinox, and I'll be starting to advertise that in the next few weeks. There'll be an early bird price and monthly payment plans. And if someone wants to come in and they haven't got the full amount of money or whatever, come and message me anyway. I want to hear from you. Come anyway and talk to me about it. Because, I'm never ever going to refuse someone to go in that needs to go in. So, yeah, we've got a great few years to look forward to, because finally things are really shifting. They are. They're really shifting. The plasma is working. That's why, our GPSs are being thrown off. Our inner compass is being flipped right now. And you don't know where you're going, maybe. Like, where am I going? I thought I was heading to this sort of, but I don't know. That's normal. It's normal. Because what is happening is, it's almost like the barriers of your lower ego mind are being dissolved, and more of your true identity and more of your true authenticity as a soul is coming through, and then the new destinations will become available. It's like you'll create from a different space, and then suddenly you'll see where you're going, sort of. But of course, the divine, it's all about you live each day to the full, don't you? And you make the best of each day, and you don't have too rigid, like, ideas of where you're heading. Like, oh, I'm going to live in a big house in 20 years' time, or it's going to look Victorian, and it's going to, I mean, you could do, but you know what I'm saying? The divine, it's all about sort of creating as you go along. And probably our visions are not even big enough to realise what our I am presences really want. So it's quite interesting. We're in exciting times. So thank you for listening. I don't do as many lives on Facebook nowadays, as you know, but it's good to come on and talk. And as I say, I'm opening that temple doors in March. I haven't done anything like this for a while, so I'm looking forwards to it. I really am, and it's gonna, as I say, it's gonna be really powerful. I know it is, and it will help so much in healing and lifting out the emotional body, which is running a show which, you know, makes you like walk around in circles. You can't get anything done. You're just walking around in circles, worrying about the same things over and over again. Yeah, and I've just, like, as I say, I've come out of that, and it's a good place to be, but it's entirely normal with what's going on. It's entirely normal. You're not doing anything wrong. It's entirely normal, but it's what you do about it. It's like you ask the question, how do I release this? What action do you want me to take? You know, and you'll get it. You'll get it. When you ask, when you engage, and you almost like try and become the observer of it. Try and, you know, step up on a platform and look down at what your emotional body is doing, or look down at what the pattern is they're trying to show you that you're doing. And then say, yeah, I've got to change what I do now. I've got to change the routine. I've got to make a different decision. I've got to do something against the grain. I've got to make a change in my behaviour. If it's coming from that place of fear. And then you will be guided on how you need to change it. So lots of love. Take care. All right. And I'm always here. I offer my quantum healing sessions. I do my quantum healing training, and I'm opening that temple doors in March. So I'm here. All right. And lots of love, and take care. And thank you for listening. And it's been nice. Great. Fabulous. What, yeah. It's interesting about that woman as well. Yeah, interesting. But just be aware, you know, like there's interesting times. Everybody's not who they seem or feel, you know, like, and these are the years now of the masks coming off. They'll come off. Like, if there's any fake thing going on, any sort of fakery, clonery, yeah, like, if they're not who they say they are, it's going to get revealed, because they won't be able to stay in the frequency of truth as these emanations get more powerful now. And that's what's happening, you know, like your own truth is being revealed. And if there's something not in alignment with your real truth of who you are, it has to go. One way or another, you'll get shaken, and they'll show you. Or people will walk away and you didn't expect them to, or you'll walk away and you didn't expect to, because it has to go. It can't stay. And that's where it's painful, when you try and hold on to everything with your fingernails. You know, like you're hanging on by your fingernails to things. Almost like the hand of the divine comes and takes your fingernails off and says, drop and fall now. You know, that's what happened to me. Like, nope, you're not hanging on to that anymore. Like, I'm prying your fingernails off, and you're going to let that go. Right, you know, so try and just be aware. If things are trying to leave your space, let them. Don't hang on. Because, you know, you don't want the rug pulled from under you, do you, really? Sometimes that's the only way we do let go of things, though, isn't it? Human. We're human. We're having, you know, we're having a human experience. We're having a human experience. So don't be too hard on yourself. Lots of love. Love you all. Take care and look after yourselves, all right? Okay? Yeah, look after yourselves. Take care.